We're here at Colt Creek State Park in the Green Swamp. I'm with Squatch in South Florida and the rest of the fam. You guys got the quite the squad now, you know? It's awesome.
Working out good.
I'm sorry for being a little late, but you know I had to come from Tim T's house. I'm glad you guys would.
Better late than never.
You're right, you're right. And you guys were manifesting, getting everything ready, so there's no wasted time when you're on an investigation. And of course, the Green Swamp is known for the skunk ape activity, lost treasure, runaway convicts. Sadly, a lot of illegal aliens go missing in this area. And Tim Fasano, who's a legendary Florida researcher, this used to be his stomping grounds. Rest in peace, Tim. How he did his tree knocks, he would run his shoulder straight into the tree and just charge it. Stacy said it was amazing to see.
See the tree back there?
See that tree over there to the left?
Leaning right onto it.
What's going on there? It just spiked.
That's interesting over there, huh?
You start taking a picture of that and it spiked.
Matt's tri-field meter is spiking. And no electronics or cell phones make it go off. Nana just tested it on camera.
Yeah, Caitlin, you're the bait. Keep going, baby girl.
Alright.
Oh, horse. Horses. Evidence of horses.
And we know the Sasquatch love watching the stallions and braiding their hair.
That's true. Engineers in the Forestry Service that when we see these tree breaks close to trails, it's to let the other Sasquatch know that this is where humans frequent.
That would make sense 100%. Kind of like a fair warning.
Yep.
Like keep your guard up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Matt's interviews with Mel, Donnie, and Carrie. The Carrie one was more like a mentorship type thing, different vibe. But the Donnie and Mel ones were great information.
Yeah. They were so good.
And then our friend Amber's Paraworld right now, she's in a snow blizzard and barricaded in her house the past few days. It's crazy how one side of the country is one way and then down here we're in the middle of winter, hiking full of greenery. Of course, this reminds me of the Myakka skunk ape photo.
Yeah. Sure did.
Someone's shooting off guns around here.
You're not supposed to be.
I know. I'm gonna just stay put. No problem.
Sounded like a knock.
That was a gun.
That was a gun? Okay.
If that was a knock, we should go back to the car.
I know, right?
I recorded a knock like last week live on TikTok. It was pretty cool. I was with Jack, the guy that made Void Cat, and he was like, we gotta get out of here. And I was like laughing, you know, taking my time.
A little bit of act.
The meter acting up again.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm starting to get lightheaded too.
There's some horses up there. There's a tree.
This is where it's starting to get thicker.
You know, it's still not as thick as that hike we did in Immokalee. Connor, you couldn't see
the jungle.
between anything. You
Really?
could not see anything. It was crazy how thick it was.
our one buddy that we met from Fort Pierce yesterday, he's all about it. So I'm excited for you guys to link up with him because it's kind of the same area. That's awesome. Big old horses. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, doing incredible.
Awesome.
We're looking for
yeah.
the skunk ape. Any action out there?
Geez, haven't seen one today. Maybe yesterday.
have you or any horse friends ever heard of you seeing any braids on your guys' horses, like in the morning, you know, mysteriously braided up? I know sometimes it naturally happens, it will get, you know, rounded up, but sometimes they say Sasquatch or maybe fairies, you know, take care of the horses at night.
No.
You'll have to look into it, ask around, and go Buccaneers.
Called fairy steps.
Yep.
So that the fairies can climb up and ride them. I've heard
The
that
fairy
too.
steps. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Have a good one, guys.
See, now that one lady knew about the fairies.
Yep, and that's all. That's that's the percentage you have to go for. Talk to 8 people, you get 1. You know, and that's fine. But guess what? 7 of the 8 will go to bed thinking about it.
Yes, they will.
They'll say, "Remember when we saw those Sasquatch guys?" Yup. I remember.
Yeah, those guys are weird.
Yeah.
What were they on?
Yeah. Caitlin, where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Boca, but I was raised in North Carolina.
Nice. Now back to Florida.
Back to Florida, literally down the street from where I was born, and my daughter was born in the same hospital.
Wow, that's amazing. I love pine cones. The same shape as our pineal gland. You know, the spirit in our molecule made up same as this. The golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence. Beautiful out here. This is the morning after the Bigfoot conference. It was legendary yesterday. Got to share the stage with Stacy Brown, Robert Robinson, Dave Sidoti, and Ryan Golembeski, RPG. It was so rad. I blew some minds up there. Got an applause pretty much after every statement I made. It was silly. They didn't know how to react to some of the stuff I was going on about, but it was rad, man. Sold a bunch of books, took a bunch of photos, signed autographs, met a bunch of people that I was really looking forward to. Maria Mayor, Lyle Blackburn, Lauren Coleman, and just, you know, rubbing elbows with people that are doing it. And then linking back up with Matt, Nana Boss, stayed with Tim T last night. BF Bud and Angie drove down from Ohio. We linked up with a bunch of the
Flat Rock.
Flat Rock Booger and Daniel Lundy.
Yep, Daniel Lundy.
And Daniel Lundy made me an arrowhead necklace, man. He's one of the coolest dudes. He has so much information about
Yeah, I mean,
the
we sat down
world.
and had lunch with them, and we're talking to them for like, I don't know, maybe close to 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those guys like Jimmy and Mikey V, those Okeechobee dudes are really cool too.
Yeah.
That's near your area, so you'll definitely be linking up with them in the next few weeks.
They got my information. They told me that they were gonna give me a call soon. Hopefully, you get out there.
Hell yeah. That tree's pretty weird, way down there. Like,
Yeah, it's odd.
kind of looks like the roots, but I think it's just like broken branches.
Well, I had wanted to. I don't have any of my cameras going or audio going, anything like that. I want to see if we can get to a spot where we can see some sign.
Uh-huh.
And I got a knocker on me. I actually bought one of those little bat knockers.
That's awesome.
Yesterday. I was like, it was too cool. I was like, I couldn't pass it up.
Heck yeah, I want to see it in action. I have a little like replica bat from the Portland Sea Dogs, you know, like one of the souvenirs that I use, and it does well too. A lot of places for them to hide behind the trees and peek, and you blend in with all the green.
Yeah, man, you ever heard of the hide behinds?
I'm not sure. Is that another name for them, or
Well, no. It's called a hide behind. It's a creature that does nothing but hide behind trees.
whoa?
And there was one that recently got caught on film. somewhere in like the Midwest area.
Nice.
They were driving through like, you know, some woods or whatever, and they seen it. And it was just this little creepy, like almost type of goat man type of thing. My buddy had said it because he's into cryptids and stuff, but he don't want to be public about anything that he, you know, finds and shit. He's, oh man, I know you enjoy this shit. What do you think about this? I said, well, to be honest with you, it kind of looks like a Sasquatch, but it's got a much different face than anybody's ever, you know, than what the standard description is.
Right.
He's like, yeah, man, look at this. There's a whole freaking thing. It's called a hide behind. They live behind, they come out of portals behind trees. And they just peek either way a couple times, and then they go right back in.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, man.
I've heard of tree peekers, of course, but kind of like with the portal, and pretty much that's their only existence is behind a tree. That's pretty interesting.
Well, you know, it stands to test that something with these trees, man.
That one that's bent over there, there's no other ones.
And there's another one coming up here.
Wow.
That's pointed right like we find down south where we're at.
Right.
And that one's oddly placed in the middle of another tree. You see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't think that's weather, because there's no other trees in the area that look like that. So that was independently done.
There it is. Coming right up in front of us. See that one
Yeah.
down where it's broke right at freaking cabin palm level?
Yeah. I think this one's where we'll angle off towards it a little bit. It's nice when you walk, you keep your body heat. I don't know, some piece of like cement or rock. Looks like it was placed here though.
What's funny is that further up the trail, I seen a rock just sitting there. Look at that bend too.
Oh yeah.
That's pinned. Yeah, that was what we were coming over.
A little baby break, yeah.
Oh, y'all didn't see that loop?
I saw the loop behind it. I honestly didn't even see what Matt was talking about. Perfect little triangle for something to go under as well.
Spike.
I could hear it spiking, yeah. Chris Reinhardt, Chris Connors had a lot of radiation activity out here in the green swamp. And it's starting to actually affect their health. You can definitely see it's been used by a lot of different game.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Some large birds over there too. This is definitely.
Out of curiosity, I want to see what happens if I stand under it with the trifield.
Go for it.
You know, a lot of people say that the trifield will go off in your structure.
That's true. Heard that.
Not doing much of nothing.
Let me see on the other side.
Look at all those. That's amazing.
Did we spook them?
I saw like 3 of them, 4 of them jumping, but yeah, they finally. We must have got a little too close for them.
It was a little. I think it was a little odd though. This had spiked, then they lift up.
Uh huh.
Be careful because
There's water.
water over here. Oh man. Look right here. Look how
Worn,
melted down.
worn down it is.
This is very well used.
And it just spiked again.
That's, I mean, this is the only place.
Let's sit in there.
Man,
Let's see if there's anything with prints.
is there any prints?
I mean, there looks like there might be an impression like
Look
right over
closer
here.
by that pine cone right there, because something has been going on top of that log. So there's no pine needles on it.
Yeah, it's been cutting right through.
Yeah.
Something's, here's some game trails, looks like, right next to the water.
Yep. It's using it as a barrier, especially when it's a little thicker. That nothing wants to go in that.
100%. Let's see. Okay, here's some mud. Let's see if there's any impressions or prints in this mud. Right down here. There's a whole.
Oh yeah, there's a Oh, there's something right here.
Look. I mean, it isn't castable, but look at that.
Right here?
Yeah. It looks like toes here. Stepped on that, and this looks like a heel.
Tri-field going off. This happens every time that we look at prints.
Yeah. You see it?
I do.
You see it, right?
Yep.
Is there any others? So these look like what? Deer, hog, right here.
Little indention right here too.
Uh-huh.
There's
Oh,
a
this
looks
is-
like there's a small heel in there behind it.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll be able to scan those with your app once you just take the picture.
Well, no. I would have to sit here and do it. It's a little too ambiguous for my taste.
And that
Mhm.
law and that
do it?
piece of wood might be interfere with
Yeah,
it.
well, no, it's not that nothing will interfere with it. That's the cool part about it. Nothing will interfere with the 3D scanner. The problem with this is that it's very ambiguous. It's very light.
Right.
Like the one that we found in Mayaka. Like it wouldn't be possible for me to make a 3D scan because the only thing was the very light impressions that were made when the foot had kind of lifted off. It was very light. But where we're at, they sink into that mud because the sand's so soft.
Right.
There's another tree bent right over there. The whole top of that part's been bent and pinned against that one pine.
These trails lead to that other tree break.
I could definitely see him using the water as a barrier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could feel it's a little weird over here.
Everybody's got stuff over here. I'm gonna show you guys something cool.
These trails are very well used.
Definitely. Matt's got a good point. Why the F is that just laying there on the side of the trail? Possibly, you know, some horse people could have moved it, but it is very curious because, like, where did it fall from?
Yeah, exactly. Where did it fall from?
Stripped bark.
Yes, it is.
So it was worked on.
Okay. Getting a little swatchy. Some strange stuff.
That's what we came for.
Hey, that's what you're ready for in the Skinwalker Swamp.
Yes.
There's also been some scary movies filmed here. Like, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like Mega Piranhasaurus versus Crocozilla. It's like a funny, you know, sci-fi movie. But one guy who was actually filmed a couple of the scenes was at the conference yesterday. I was talking to him about it. I was like, yeah, my movie like that's called Zillafoot.
Do it at the end.
See how many I can collect? Make it a game.
Yeah, there you go. I ain't counting them all, so I'll never know and I'll never win.
It looks like there's like a horizontal branch, you know, straight ahead over there. This could be like a balanced one, or maybe just a thick
Oh,
branch.
wait, well, that's way in there.
Yeah, straight up.
We'll see if the trail will bring us closer to that because it wraps around this little patch area.
Perfect.
That is peculiar.
Definitely a little strange.
Like, what I like to say to people, because they're like, oh, somebody put that there. Oh, that's deadfall. Well, what are the odds and what is the actual probability of deadfall landing perfectly into the Y of a tree and then also hanging there?
Yep, and that spot also being somewhere in importance to the trail, or you know, maybe a lake or water.
That's interesting.
With the random dead trees right there?
Yeah, all that brush brought right in. We're gonna see more when we come around this bend.
Whoop. Whoop.
This is pretty cool how it kind of like bears out for a little bit. Daniel Lundy was just saying he's hungry for some squirrel stew.
Okay, now look at that one.
Yeah, I see it too.
There's another one over here.
And like, where the heck did that big branch come from?
I don't know. I'm gonna check this out because that to me, well, wait, Connor,
Yeah.
you see that, right?
Oh yeah. Looks like a perfect foot shape. What are we walking in that direction?
Is it coming this way? Maybe these are the toes?
It very well could be, because it does look like it widens out at the end, but I don't know.
Take the leaves? Can we take the leaves out?
Possibly. Let's have Matt document it, and then we'll take the leaves out.
Man, we might have a print. We might have a print.
Perfect shape of a foot right here. It would of course be a little old because there's a lot of leaves inside it.
Looks like there's one here and here.
Maybe try
But that is-
the leaves with that.
Alright, well, for shits and giggles, let's see what happens when you document it.
Yes, sir. And of course the
There goes the tri-field.
tri-field meters.
Yep.
Spiking.
Every time you document something.
And Matt got zapped when we were in Mayaca when we made a footprint
I get zapped everywhere.
discovery.
They're a pain in my butt. They love me though.
Matt's channel's recently been having a lot of traction. He had an awesome interview on Bigfoot Odyssey, and
I said they love me. Look at that.
you were also on Paranormal Chop Shop, right? With
Paranormal Chop Shop. It made appearances on Gypsy Road.
Gypsy
You
Road,
want me to be,
Mogollon Monster.
You want me to take out the leaves a little at a time? All right, I turned off my camera here.
Okay. Hold on.
Nana cleared out the leaves from this impression. It's very cool. It's hard to see on camera, but we could see it with our eyes. And Matt actually did a 3D scan, so we're gonna get the exact specifics. And his tri-field meter is going off right now.
It just hit 13.
And we're in a very strange spot. There's a lot of hog rubs, but this leaner is why we even came in this direction. That's so cool. I thought that was bones. Going crazy?
We're maxing it out.
Something's watching us. The ancient ones, their heartbeat gives off infrasound, and it goes through the grid, tapping into our nervous system and electronics. It's weird seeing these holes dug up. I know the hogs dig, but some of these are a little deep.
Call it an impression because Caitlin, this is what happened. See how the ground's all like dug up and I'm gonna call that an impression. Look at this. All the way up there. Huh. Is that in the ground?
Don't look like that. Especially with that one right there next to it. Look at that. Heel, toes.
That kind of looks like an old print too.
Yep.
A left foot, big toe over there.
Is that the right, Matt?
This is the right.
So there's the left and then the right. We have to measure this one, guys.
That's very cool. You can see the heel pretty well.
It's the track.
Of course, the tri-field.
There's something to this meter. I don't know what it is.
And this goes right in that area to the thickness, of course. And some horizontal brush to hide behind right here.
Now this is cut. This was man-made. This is cut. It's got a cut all the way on both sides.
And the same one
It's
on that.
smooth.
What's strange is that they did. Both of these trees had died and they cut them and let them dead thing.
Yeah,
They cut it and they let it go natural.
but this is definitely purposely done, obviously by man and with some kind of like a saw or something.
Here's another one. Here's another.
That's crazy right there.
They're so flat.
And it doesn't have a lot inside it, so it's kind of fresh, right? I mean, I would think it doesn't have a lot inside it.
Yeah, probably like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And they're all in line with each other right here. It had stepped its left foot right up here. Right foot probably went somewhere around here. Left foot back there again.
Well, I guess it's good to look around in this hog rut.
We just came up here on 34 and there's an awesome line of pine cones, which is really mysterious because I just saw a line of pine cones at Falling Waters where the hooded Sasquatch roam. So, you know, very well could be campers and hikers, but it could be a new type of ground glyph that we're just being awoken to.
It's close to a tree break right over there. It looks, I don't know if that's natural or not.
Good morning, y'all.
Morning, how you doing?
Oh, doing incredible. You know, the weather's holding up for us.
Yeah, it's so nice.
We were just at the Florida Bigfoot conference yesterday.
Oh, very cool.
Have you guys heard anything out here? Strange stuff? Any weird stories from friends or anything?
No, but we were camping out here last night and they started losing their stuff.
Really?
Normally we'll see like a critter running by, but we didn't ever see
Hey,
it.
puppy
no
girl.
climbing.
Hey,
Kind
yeah.
of went crazy.
Oh,
times, yeah.
you guys are the stars. What's
And they
what's
would
the
just be
puppy's
staring
name?
into the woods.
The
This is
hassle is what
Dixie,
he is, Max and Dixie.
and this is
Max and Dixie. Oh, Dixie, it's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maxie.
One of our friends in Mayaca is named Dixie. She's a biologist.
Cool.
But yeah, man, definitely check us out. Squatch in South Florida and Bigfoot Anon.
Cool. Okay. All right.
We're the next up down here in the Florida Bigfoot world.
Very cool.
Definitely take it easy. We're on YouTube, and you can also find us on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely reach out, man. We're from out of town, but we are a part of a team that hikes the Green Swamp very often. So
I love the green
if you're ever looking for adventure buddies, Mid-Florida Research Team.
Okay.
They're always out here.
Yeah, we'll look it up. Mid-Florida Research Team.
Yep, Mid-Florida Research Team.
Cool.
Bigfoot Research Team, of course, but
Yeah.
you'll be able to find it, man.
Cool.
Yes, have a good one, man.
All right, guys.
Thanks for the information.
Thank you.
See you guys. Matt's tri-field meter is spiking right now, so there's a good chance we are being watched. This is definitely a spooky area. And the girls were feeling something strange as well. The Green Swamp is known for skunk ape legends that go farther back than the 1800s. There's even a zoo somewhere in the Green Swamp, so lions, giraffes, and other exotic animals are in here. And I think that raises the curiosity of the wild man. It's awesome being out here with Squatch in South Florida in the Skinwalker Swamp. We got 101 people watching live right now.
Oh, sweet.
113. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be out here sharing the vibrations the day after the Bigfoot conference. Yesterday was an amazing day for the state of Florida moving forward with the cabbage man. The Mid-Florida research team is out here pretty much every weekend, and they've found a bunch of footprints, hair on barbed wire fence, and tons of other strange anomalies. We've gotten some good pictures of these creatures with back cam and even our normal front-facing camera. But they are camouflage masters, energy manipulators. They are the living shimmer. They are the predator. I see some other hikers coming from over there. See if they've heard anything about any of the anomalies or high strangeness and rare frequencies that are lurking. Would you mind filming with this? It's just live, so you can just have fun.
Oh, okay.
Feel free to narrate and to say what you want.
I don't really even know what to say.
That's a good start. Yeah, you can definitely show his meter and stuff too when you hear it buzzing. Just because I think people would think that's very cool to see. Live and direct. The different colors is amazing. We have found about 5 or 6 footprints today. And Matt got to 3D scan a few of them. But the whole time, my third eye, pine cone, DMT portal has been vibrating. My brother, Cult 45 podcast, Evan D. from Tampa Bay. He definitely has a raised vibration. I learned a lot in a little time from him. But when you find your tribe and your spirit animal, your soul and essence flourishes. Yesterday we got to see the premiere of Stacy Brown's new film, The Skunk Ape Experiments, and I was pumped because homeboy Tristan makes his acting debut. And I did some behind the scenes help with the recreation shots of Emmett's encounter. Yeah, marking.
It's more impressive this way.
It is. Very cool structure pointing in this direction. Something would have had to climb up, shimmy up that and break it, or it's a very massive being. A troll.
Look at that. Placed in that tree. Is it placed in there or is it growing there? Connor, I can't tell. It looks like it was placed there, but I can't see this.
Yeah, we gotta get closer. Definitely some game comes through here though. Into the swamp over there.
This is a nice hike though.
Yeah, it's very peaceful and serene. See something white on the ground over there. That was Matt making a call. See if we get a response. This looked like bones from far away. Kind of sounded like there was a little knock in that direction over there. I was recording. The 8-minute mark, we'll find it.
That small X over there between those two trees. 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I do. And yeah, it is. X marks the spot. I was gonna say that or a cross. Something's definitely been using this.
Your phone died.
Dang it. Thank you though.
You're welcome. We're getting up to a little X too. I'm like, fuck, no.
I had like 20%, so that went really fast. Maybe it got zapped.
Maybe.
That's like an X and a weird
I
bend.
warned the people that was watching though that you have 5%.
Yeah. Matt, did you get up with Stevie? Because now my phone died, so I... Okay. Oh, okay. Could you tell her my phone died? I hate to make you do that, but I just don't want her to have to, like, think I'm ignoring her or something.
I mean, I cannot say this is Sasquatch related, but it is beautiful nonetheless.
It is. Definitely been some hog activity in this area and more of these fun leaners. Of course my phone died. That's
Ain't that some shit?
this looks like maybe an impression, but
Yeah.
it's just been all dug up by hogs, so it's hard to tell. But it looks like it could be.
Yeah, like this.
Some kind of large animal made it. Is this spot calling out to you? I heard a knock.
I just did too.
Yeah. I thought I did right after you made a call too.
Yeah.
No, not he didn't make that one.
No, there was another one. You recording?
Multiple knocks and the tri-field meter going off.
in peace, with respect.
We're in the name of the great creator.
Light and love. If you feel like presenting yourself to us, please do so. We're open to an interaction, peaceful.
That was pretty crazy, bro.
I tell you, bro.
You had it, man. I had a perfect angle. You know, you in the foreground and in the background and interacting perfect. That's crazy.
Couldn't have asked for something better than that to happen.
Right. And then it started making sounds to the left too, and then it went back to over here. So it's probably multiple or it's moving quick.
No, they're here.
And this is right where it gets swampy, you know?
Wish you guys could see this log. There's no way this is naturally done. This is not natural. No, I mean no way.
And of course, I was thinking maybe it's a person messing with us, but there's no people here. There's no trail here.
There's no way this fell in between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 huge cypress trees.
It looks like a
Perfect.
property marker, you know, like a barrier.
Or blind, because they put these. This is brought in here.
Definitely.
This right here. This is laid here. That right there.
It's a little fortress.
Yep. They got the palm ferns here. This probably hasn't.
Because this sometimes is pretty deep in water too, you know?
Oh yeah.
I hear something moving over there.
We mean you no harm. If you'd like to present yourself to us, we would be very grateful. We love your people. We respect them. We respect you. This is your home. Trust me, we will leave here and we will not take anything with us. It's yours. Can you knock for us, please? Can you give us just one knock? Did we push in too far?
We might have, or that might have just been all they'd give us. But they
Yeah.
were literally reacting perfectly right after him, so they weren't interrupting him or at all. It was a cadence, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
The stem of a mushroom.
Oh,
Interesting.
that is interesting.
Here's another one too. I don't know how that one just ended up right there.
Yeah. There's so much more inside
And-
there, right?
And the knocks weren't like, they didn't, shake our diaphragm. It could have been something like gremlins or fairies as well. So we might be looking for something smaller than the hairy man.
Could be.
'Cause this is a perfect jungle gym for them as well. But it sounded like a juvenile playing along.
Yeah, yeah.
It was right after my phone died too. I know my phone was going low battery, but it did just like shut off.
I know,
You know,
my GoPro's down. All I have is the our audio recorder going, and that may die soon too. This cold is killing these batteries.
But I got it on video.
Me too.
I think the entire interaction.
It sounded like one in the distance.
Yeah, sure was. Here's the base of that. You see the big log?
Just like 40 yards probably. They weren't that far.
They were right here.
Yeah, just right through the brush.
They could be crouched down in these ferns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they could be down on their bellies. We wouldn't even know. They could be 10 feet away.
What I find interesting, ferns tend to grow wherever they are.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Down here.
Where you find ferns, that's where they like to be. Everywhere.
Oh, it's
It's easy to hide.
Remember there was a fern place right by that bear footprint that we found?
oh, that's right.
Like I know we moved it to market, but that's when we first got it. It was right near it too. Was it a dragonfly or a fairy?
That one over there might be a thing. Watch your step. How did that big dragonfly just disappear? You see them, right?
It's nowhere to be found. No, it looked like it.
It
You
looked like
guys
it went
went
right
in
here.
this area, yeah.
Oh, there he goes. We needed 4.
That's perfect.
You were our 4th.
The 4 pillars of Earth. This
And
one
see-
smells
see
really
the-
bad.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. There's a lot. Oh yeah. There's a lot of bugs in it too, eating away at it.
It's
The
probably
nutrients.
a couple day old.
That's interesting.
It's interesting they come all
Prescribed
the way
burn.
out here to the trail to do that.
Well, if it is them,
I mean,
but feel this ground though. You're
No.
not making any prints or anything into this ground. This is soft. That's loud. This would be a very good way to travel through this entire, swamp.
well, what's here?
What's here
Are
naturally?
there bear here? Are there?
Bear,
obviously
panther, coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah, bobcat.
Yeah, there's little
I got
bears
all
in
this
there,
in my
too.
hair.
Yeah.
Didn't even see that coming.
Oh, look how tall that is.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff laid on top.
Connor, there's something right here behind this bush.
Something big, like a cat.
It just made a very big noise, like it shifted very big.
Hey,
I'm gonna try circling to the right.
Dark spot in there, but I can't see the
Something's definitely used this. That's a perfect area to hide in. I don't see anything, no. This eye. Look at this. Not seeing anything. I hear something moving over here though. Yeah, I'll work through. There's definitely some like hog ruts, so it's been used.
I'm telling you, man, I freaking heard. I guess maybe it's something smaller sitting in this grass patch here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just sitting there. But it was right there in front of us.
Maybe an armadillo or something.
Yeah, could have done. That's possible too.
Or snake.
Yeah.
Could have been disturbing and sunbathing, I suppose. It's really old.
We just found some really old scat just on the trail. Matt said it looks like panther. There are many big cat back here. Bobcat, jaguar, and dogman. And the void cat's a dogman, so cat dog is all one. Of course, Donnie talking about the cat people, you know, about 3 to 4 feet tall, but can keep up with cars. And they live behind a shrimp factory.
There's a... What?
Look at this pile of pine cones up there.
Yeah, it's weird. It's always crazy how they do the prescribed burns, you know, and how it doesn't like burn down the whole forest.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like a weird blur over there. It was like a white blur. I don't know if it was my eyes playing tricks on me or like lightheadedness. It's weird.
You got a little lightheaded.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little lightheaded.
I'm feeling okay.
See what happens when you make a plan and stick to the plan.
Yes, sir. Manifested it.
I don't think I've ever seen a video where Tim Tiedemann got some stuff like that.
No, not direct, you know.
Not like that.
Knocks. That was awesome. It sounded like I could have just heard some knocks too. I don't know what that was. Unless there was something rattling in a bag.
We're in a knock.
The whole time we're coming around this bend, I keep feeling like something's paralleling us. Like they always say, oh, something, you know, they parallel and
But
block
often
you
that's
out.
on the very edge of the tree line. I've been watching it.
And
Keeping
then
it
Connor
as
said he
safe
thought
as-
he saw something.
Yeah, I saw like a white blur over there, but it didn't remind me of Sasquatch. It was more like energy overload, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe a portal, honestly. It was weird. But it also could have been just my lightheadedness, but that is also a very valid feeling.
Oh, so you've been feeling lightheaded too?
Just in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I also threw up this morning.
Yeah. This predator scat.
With hair in it, yep.
That's hog hair in it.
You think it's hog hair?
That's gotta be hog hair. It had her deer hair in it, but either way, that's some seriously stinky shit. Excuse my French, but that's definitely, there's bone in it. Little white bits of bone. Scales, looks like. So, some scales in it. Oh, you got a thicker stick than that, bud.
Yeah. I'll just use my hand.
Oh.
Here's some bark. This will work.
Yeah, that's some weird poop.
Yeah, I don't know what that is right there, that yellow.
Yeah, this is obviously something that eats a lot of different stuff. Huh. But it's obviously a predator with all that hair in it. And bone. Little bits of bone.
Or it's a tail.
No.
No, that's, yeah, well, I guess it could be.
Heck, that's pretty interesting.
Okay.
This is Scat Row.
Mom, by the way.
Yeah.
You say that you experienced the whole gamut? Gambit.
Gambit. Gamut?
No, not gamut.
Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah.
You say gamut.
Sorry. I know it's gambit though.
I know.
do know that.
I know you do.
How do I do that?
I've heard you say that stuff a couple times like that.
You
and
know
I
what's
was like,
funny? John, there's another, I can't remember now, but there's another word and John says every time I say it, I'm saying it wrong.
Very cool area. One is going like that, and then another is going like that. Both bowing in a certain direction. And of course, the EMF trimeter is making crazy noise.
we're on our way back. It can't be that far.
It loops around back to the main one.
We want to hear something wild. Before we were walking up on that, you guys were already all in there.
Yeah.
And I was still on the main trail. And it was like tunnel vision. It just drew me in there. I said, I know that that's where they are. And we walk into that.
Very strange. It was
You know,
playful.
at first-
It was like suddenly I knew that they were there.
But here's the
fucking weird.
interesting thing. When it first started, I kind of, in my mind, I don't know why, I was like, is the only other thing in my mind the box I could have put it in was, somebody's out there with like a hatchet and they're chopping something. But then I'm like, oh no, that is definitely not that.
The only thing I was thinking is other hikers, but then once I put together the geography, I'm like, no, they wouldn't be in the middle of the swamp. The skunk ape stool right here. It's literally like a perfect seating place.
And it looks like it has an ass cheeks print into it.
It really does. Paul Freeman got a butt cast. Yeah.
Is there any butt hairs?
Yeah.
Maybe they manscape.
Yeah. That's when they rub against the trees, probably.
Thank you so much. The forest people did not disappoint us.
What a morning. Those prints are pretty awesome too.
Yes. I mean, because this is where you guys were standing when we were doing the knots, right here. And then, like, look, I mean, if he's gonna, this is...
Right here too is like that.
A lot of hog rub and definitely just a lot of activity. Yeah, it was right at this tree Matt was at, because Matt was standing right here. Because I remembered this
Yeah.
the whole time. This little
Yeah.
log that's like wedged. And there's no actual human main trail that way. Because I was thinking maybe it's some hikers that are playing with us, but it's not. There's no one over there.
And then come around to see this one wedged into the tree.
Yup.
Sure is.
You have this over here on the tree.
This could be a knocker right here that they use on this tree.
This is right where we were standing.
Yeah.
You were knocking right on this
On
tree.
this tree.
Think about it, this is a perfect vantage point for a day watcher to be sitting right here. Sorry to have to use that quaint term, but
Again, progress.
Yup.
We're right next to the progress. This is old though.
yeah,
It's very old.
like they were here, then they realized they shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah. I'd love to find a hog skull.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Winnette found one a couple weeks ago.
I mean, sign of Sasquatch. There's just so many beautiful things that nature makes, you know? I mean, to appreciate, you know?
It's literally a miracle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sadly, our ears can only hear what we can hear, but you know, the forest is making sounds. There's so much harmony between it all. You've seen the videos that they put the instruments or, you know, this new technology up to it and they hook it up, and yeah, it's like a beautiful chorus.
Well, they've been doing studies with electrodes. And you can hook up to things like trees and mushrooms. They actually emit their own music.
If this is a track, this is freaking huge. But you can kind of see toes. You know?
Whoa.
That's a hoss.
Yeah.
But what brought me is this dugout.
Wow.
You can hide your baby in there.
Oh, wow.
There's a geocache in there too. Yeah, or some kind of special stone. Post a pic to Palm Harbor Rocks at Facebook.
Very cool.
We'll tag them in our video. That's pretty cool.
A little Halloween.
Spooky too. That's cool.
Again, when you find these things, that's the second geocache we came across on our hike.
Yeah, I want to download the app. I'm sure there's a bunch out here. That's what's even cool, you know, and like bootlegger camps and homeless camps, like nature provides, but there's also things that are out here that are maybe not supposed to be out here, but it alters the experience. I'm covered in hitchhikers.
Oh my gosh, I
love
know.
to see
How
it.
did I avoid them all?
I don't know if it's your fabric or something, because I was thinking that too.
I'm
Look at that.
covered.
You don't have barely any.
I didn't wear my hiking pants because they're so thin. They're like, you know, they're for not for as cold as it was this morning.
Yeah. This is nice, you know, right now. Like this
Yeah.
is perfect hiking weather for you know, Florida winter.
Yeah, it warmed up nice.
Yeah, once that sun started coming out, man.
Yeah, it was drizzling a little bit too. So today was like a perfect.
More down trees and stuff to our left. And stuff.
Yeah, I feel they're that
Oh,
on
they're
that
there.
side back.
Another break.
Yeah, I see some too, balanced and stuff. There's definitely been some things going through here.
Got an arc right here. Huge arc. Oh,
Hog rut, and then all the pine needles fell. So it's been a while too.
Weird.
Yeah. And there have been, you know, axe murder sites here in the Green Swamp. Robert Robinson was telling me about it, and Tim recently took the gang there and had some weird radiation.
I think this one's naturally growing because it's not thin, it's moving in the wind a little bit.
Well, I think because that's a separate pine that's trying to survive
Right, it's still
Underneath.
growing out.
underneath.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's yeah, that's natural.
Wonder where that broke off of.
That looks like an X over there.
Yeah, it does.
That's an X, guys.
X marks the spot. Like the pirates always taught us. There's a cool trail that goes like right underneath it too. There's this high hanging vine. What a cool spot. And this.
Infects the trees from the roots.
There's ferns, so Cabbage Man is near. The rod bender is watching. The stump jumper is out here. Here's a nice little swampy area. Another seating area. The Ghoulies playground. Circus and zoos don't have anything on the green swamp. RPG recently had a 24-hour expedition that was turned into a documentary right around here. Mid-Florida, Robert Robinson, Outcast Paranormal, and a bunch of other legends piled in. They had rough weather, but I feel like it opened up something for us.
You know?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's fresh.
And that goes up, and then it breaks right there. And this is in the direction of where we're getting some activity.
I mean, 12 feet high.
It's high, yeah. Yeah. Nothing else in the area was affected like that.
Mm-mm.
Right here's like a little corridor.
Yeah. I mean, I do know that their trees can get diseases, which the bark would fall off cleanly, right? Clean.
Yeah.
That was not clean.
No, that was like peeled apart.
Yeah, something is peeled. It's not.
Sounded like there was a knock back there. I don't know if Matt heard it. Right here's a little like bend and
Hanger.
yeah, hang right here. That's pretty interesting. And that's weighting it down.
That one over there looks like it's going vertical that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, horizontal.
Yeah, horizontal.
Got it there. This is where the sound is coming from, though.
Yeah, towards this area.
Towards this area.
This is when they'll move, when a plane's overhead. Yeah, I don't know how far it goes. It probably just goes forever.
I'm feeling like we shouldn't push any further in that direction.
Yeah. That's a gut feeling.
Yeah. These things definitely look very low to the ground. I have a feeling these are juveniles.
Mm-hmm.
And daddy's gotta be there somewhere. I'm not gonna just leave him alone.
Something just unzipped my backpack.
Really?
Something just unzipped my backpack. Me and her are standing here talking. Something just unzipped my backpack. And I have it on the audio recorder, if it's still on.
Wow. You heard it too? Like you
Yeah.
were with your own ears?
You heard it?
I didn't hear
You
it,
didn't
but
hear it?
it's hard.
Oh, I heard it. And I felt it in my back.
Huh.
And I said, is it unzipped? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, because you always zip it up so the lavalier
I
is
always zip it
secure.
up. It's been zipped all day.
Yeah, we probably got it on film zipped. I thought I heard like one knock over
Did
there.
anybody put that pine cone there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring some tobacco and some honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Well, this log here looks
yeah,
nice.
this looks good.
Yeah, it was calling out to me.
Alright.
And leaving some tobacco here. Because they just blessed us with an awesome experience. But unfortunately, we gotta start hitting the red.
Should we? You're just pouring it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't leave this. Don't leave the paper.
No, I was.
I'm gifting some of my grandfather's jerky from the Ohio Valley. Of course, they would know a little bit about jerky because you could just leave out the meat and it would end up turning into it. So it's pretty cool.
Hope you guys are cool with a little menthol.
And then I also left that pine cone there with my cannabis offering.
Oh, my hands are so cool. I think I can step out.
Put them on, they will not come off. Until you're ready to cut them off. So it's fine if you don't wear them for a couple days, or not get on. Definitely the ones you got, make sure they're good for you for tomorrow.
Go around.
Oh, hey, when I tell you
Hey. Yes, yes. This is the Bigfoot right here. So this is the VIP dinner of the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. Awesome food from Lakeland Barbecue. It's gonna be an awesome conference tomorrow morning. Really can't wait. Me being here on stage is like proof that manifestation works, because last year I was interviewing Robert and Dave and talking to Stacy back there running around on the floor, and I said next year I want to be a part of this and speak. And now here I am. I've journeyed across America living out of my car. I built a bed in my little Ford Contour. I grew up in Ohio, the land of 10,000 mounds. The Ohio Grassman, Lake Erie Monster, tons of other crazy beasts. And I've written 4 books, and I've stayed true to this letter I wrote to myself when I was like 8 years old. I said I wanted to be a singer and I wanted to be a writer. So now I go and play guitar to Bigfoot out in the woods. But it's awesome being here with the Pillars, man. I remember seeing Stacy like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I'd be like, that guy is part of my tribe, and he has cleared this path into Skunk territory. And now I live in the Panhandle, right by Stacy, right by Donnie Miller, right by Torrey State Park, the Garden of Eden. So I feel like I've slept under bridges and ate out of dumpsters for a reason. I was got Sasquatch and Mothman. This is life and death, and this is about happiness. And luckily, we're down here in Florida where we can be free and, you know, share our smiles. And I just want to inspire and encourage people to live like how we used to. You know, show your face, shake hands, go outside, and live life. And magic exists.
What did I tell you? I'm voting for him. Whatever he's running for, I'm voting. Especially to the next generation of squatchers. You guys in here, I see you down there, all zipped up. How do they get into it? Why is it accessible to them? And you know, and how do they get rocking and find their zone like you?
Now more than ever, it's being talked about on different platforms, different radio shows, even animated movies are bringing it to the forefront. But you guys have to keep your wide lens, because a lot of people get stuck in their little tunnels, and like everybody has said, these creatures, they surprise us at pretty much every turn, so we will never truly figure them out, and once we start boxing them in, we're going to miss important information. I love talking about how we are particle form 99% of the time, but in our true moments of being, we can become waveform. So I think those, you know, creatures in the woods, the elementals, the fairies, and all the other deities out there, they're not as poisoned as us with Wi-Fi, fluoride in our water, and just petty, you know, responsibilities that we have to slow down our. The Grinch, the Shrek, fairy tales, tooth fairies, we spell words, we're all witches. We write in cursive, like paranormal is normal, guys. Supernatural is natural. We are all clairvoyant.
I'm going to pretend to drop the mic for it. All right.
Spirits, and we heard like an elephant roar through the swamp, and we can't confirm what it was, but it shook all of our diaphragms, and it was definitely very powerful. But again, you gotta open your spectrum to just everything. We've been catching weird EVPs, strange lights. You'll find things that you weren't aiming for, and that's what it's about. Patterson and Gimlin, they had a plan, but they could have never seen what it's developed into. But again, guys, I'll say it loud and proud on here, look into the Bluff Creek footage, because there's a lot more stories than what's being accepted. And some people will try to silence you for that, but I'm all about no censorship. The closest we can get to the truth, the better. And only the Creator can judge. And I feel like this is the closest bridge to the Creator. This is my church. This is my spirit. And it all combines with everybody. Again, we've all walked our paths, battled our insecurities and vulnerabilities to be here, to hear this, to bounce the information off of each other. So it's very important for all of us to be here.
All right.
But in those true moments of being, maybe meditation, 10 strip psychedelics, it might put you in the right spot. You know, ayahuasca down in Peru, they meet fairies and elves and have unique conversations with deities. And Phyllis right here, she's communicated with the Bigfoot, and then they brought gifts with them. So we have to just access all those avenues of communication and just the visual and audio. There's just so much going on. And I can tell you right now, yeah, there's so much energy. You know, after you microdose mushrooms and do enough Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds in your day, you see the magic everywhere. And I feel like it has, you know, set me up for all of this. But me and Stacey are actually on the hunt for a carcass, the Ocheesee Pond wildman. It was captured in the 1800s in Ocheesee Pond, not far from Torreya State Park, and it was harassing women and children. So Native American gatherers and Civil War veterans surrounded this thing on an island deep in the Devil's Half Acre, and then they took it to the Capitol, and the governor said, "Oh, no way, send it to Chattahoochee Hospital." And they say they buried it there with a couple other John Does, and I've been told that they put a building on top of it. Other people say it's by the abandoned golf course, but I've actually been on the grounds in the last week, and I just made a video that I released yesterday, hunting for the carcass. So I definitely think the bodies are out there, but yes, they bury their dead deep in caves. And guys, we don't find any hog bones or anything out there, bear bones. Bugs go after it, other predators, but they're out there, guys. Just Stacey's documentary talked about how the DNR guy ran over a skunk ape, and then the suits came and picked it up. So for the one that's reported, there are thousands other ones out there. And then the one Ocheesee Pond wildman that was captured, there's dozens of other stories of them. So just try to eliminate the rhetoric to like, there's no good photos, there's no bodies, there's no carcasses. let's cut that weak stuff out right now, you know, because there are great stories out there. And the mound builders, guys, Abraham Lincoln talked about the giant skeletons that layered this country. The San Francisco Giants, the New York Giants. I'm from Ohio, Wheeling, West Virginia, and Moundsville had giant 12-foot skeletons. So again, guys, just do your research, and it will really just show you how dense this world is, full of mystery and magic.
Yeah,
But there's definitely some suspicious stuff that's gone along with it. A lot of people say that it was actually a mission. It was no accident. Renee Hinton and John Green were also with them. There was tons of gear and high-level, I guess, tractor stuff, because they were clearing that whole area, and some of it was being damaged by these beasts. So what a lot of theories say is they sent in this hit team, and in some of the frames you can see Patty is actually carrying a stick, and she was digging in the ground at one point. So I asked, what was she digging for? And a lot of people know about the Minnesota Iceman, that Sasquatch body, carcass, corpse that they were pretty much going all around America. And some people say that that was one of the creatures from her family that was sadly taken out, exterminated during that hunt. But it's very interesting. The footage is definitely compelling, but I think they sabotaged it themselves, because there is other parts of footage that people have reported on. A lot has gone on. I definitely encourage people to look at M.K. Davis. Bobby Short wrote a little book about it, and then she died mysteriously. So I'm like keeping my eyes open for the snipers out here, because some of this stuff is not widely accepted in the Bigfoot realm. But I think it's important to, you know, investigate all avenues, because if we're just going to censor stuff and say no, it didn't happen, then that's really easy to hide stuff. But Planet of the Apes was released pretty much the next year. I think it came out in 1968. Disney came out and said they couldn't replicate the suits, and the Planet of the Apes right next to Patty, not comparable. But I'm very interested in hearing what Stacey's got to say, because I have dove into the suspicious side and a lot of it, so I'm all ears now. Okay, so by a show of hands, how many people believe?
The first time on this property I've ever found a clean break. There was no blood, there was no, I mean, it was, that's why I thought it was something with hands, opposable thumbs. It was something, a person. That's what I thought at first, but it was the weirdest thing. Yeah. It really was.
You know, as a UV biologist,